Hello, fellow Sudokans, and welcome to Zen and the Art of the Guardian Sudoku Puzzle. It's Sunday, the 23rd of October 2022, and I hope you are keeping well and enjoying your lovely weekend. I certainly am. And what's happening today, or what puzzle do we have today? We have the Deep, Dark, and Mysterious Observer Sudoku puzzle. Why is it deep, dark, and mysterious? Because that's just about the only newspaper in the world, probably, that doesn't deign to inform us what level it might be. I know the labels are often misleading anyway, but still, at least give us an idea. Most newspapers have kind of a little star rating or something like that, or easy, medium, or difficult, or something like that. But no, not with the Observer. You take it or you leave it. Well, we'll take it and see what we can do with it. For me, it creates a slight problem though, because I'm never sure exactly how much instruction or teaching to do with this. Before the beginner Sudokus, like on a Monday in the Guardian, I try to, I imagine that it's mostly beginners who are watching, and so I try to explain a lot more. But for the expert level games, I don't explain very much. Anyway, that's the conundrum that it leaves me with. What's happening in Britain? I see yesterday, that's Saturday, people were out on the streets, thousands of people demanding that Britain go back into the EU. I find it quite amusing, in a sad way. Amusing in a sad way, is that possible? Okay, I think the most egregious thing about that referendum was when Cameron said that he would accept a simple majority. I think that was really a mistake, because the vote was so close, wasn't it? 52-48. That's not, and that kind of vote could be changed in maybe just a week's time or something like that. That kind of vote could have swung the other way, been 52-48 the other direction. So I think, to do such to create such a massive change, you really needed to get a proper 2/3 majority or something like that, which of course it was unlikely to do. And how did Britain vote for the to remove itself from the EU? Well, collection of a couple of things really. I think a good number of xenophobes, of course. They managed to, people who hate foreigners are always big in Western nations, and Britain is not the only one, of course. But that's a large part of the vote. But that wasn't all. I mean, there were, of course, certain capitalists who thought they could make a lot of money out of it. And then there were people on the left, weirdly enough, who kind of figure, well, the EU is such a capitalist body, it'd be better if we could have back control. But that was really pie in the sky. I mean, absolutely ridiculous thinking, really, because, actually, and it's also the wrong way of thinking about things. If you're on the left, you should be more international, not more national. And that means that you should be trying to change institutions to be more to your liking through democratic means from within, not leave and say, oh, we'll do it ourselves. Especially, the situation with the British Parliament, where mostly it's old Etonians in control anyway. That was really dumb for people on the left to be voting for Brexit. Anyway, it's all done now. I can see a couple of easy things, and I can see a couple of trickier things which may be necessary later on for this game. So why don't I start playing? But as I said, it could be an easy level game. So very quickly, if you've never played Sudoku before, excuse me, we have rows which have 9 squares. Some of the squares are empty, some are filled with digits. The empty ones are the ones we need to fill with digits to complete the puzzle. And same thing with the columns. And if you count, you'll find that there are 9 squares in each column and in each row. And then you're going to find that there are also 9 squares in each of these smaller grids, these 3x3 grids. Of course, that makes 9. And we put the numbers 1 to 9 in there. Now, because there are only 9 squares, it means that the numbers must not repeat. That's all that you need to understand to be able to play the game of Sudoku, other than the fact that if you're wary about any game concerning mathematics, this has nothing to do with maths. It's simply a game of logic only. And excuse me if my screen jumped there, I'm not sure what happened. Sometimes it does that weird things when I press down particular keys on the keyboard. Right, what do we know? Let's have a look at this block down in the corner. It does not yet have a digit 6. But we can place a digit 6 in this white square here. Why can we do that? because we have 6 blocking across here. That means cannot be repeated again in this row. 6 cannot be repeated in this column or this column, and therefore there is only one empty square. That's where the 6 goes. Got the idea now? Right, now you know how to play Sudoku. It's taken you a long time. Welcome to the fold. Right, now, I don't want to tell you about the more difficult thing I can see. Let's go on with the easier stuff first. So now we have 8s blocking across like this, and that's going to put an 8 into that square there. Excuse me. Like I said, I shall just try to do anything that's kind of simple first of all, in case it turns out to be an easy game. If it doesn't turn out to be an easy game, I have spotted something a little bit more, a little bit trickier, I should say. Okay, so let's just go through on the numbers one by one and see. Okay, so we have one blocking down. We have one blocking all of these 3 squares up here. Let's do it like this. Okay, remember, one can only appear in its block one time, so these 3 are eliminated. We have one blocking this row, so these 4 squares in this last column are eliminated as 1. That means that there's only one empty square here, so that's where digit 1 must go. Okay, so let's do something similar now. Let's think a little bit ahead, rather. So what do we know in this block here about digit 2? We have 2's blocking across here, and we have 2's blocking up here. So we know that 2 is either in this square or in this square, right? It's here or here only. Now, if it appears here, it blocks the rest of this row, and if it appears here, it still blocks the rest of this row, so it doesn't matter where it goes. Either here or here, it's got to block along here. And now we have a 2 blocking along here and a 2 blocking up there. So again, we've just got our one empty square where the 2 must appear. Isn't it Sudoku fun? Now, I know for those of you who are more advanced, you've seen the 4-2 pairs. I know that already, but let's try and do, let's go, oh, there are no 3s on the board. Okay, it's probably not an easy level game because there are no given 3s. I can't see any anyway. And so, that means we are probably not dealing with an easy level game. Okay, now, all right, let's take the 4 across here and the 4 across here. So that's going to put the 4 there. I'll come back to this 4 and 2 in a moment. I know you've seen it already, but let me just go through with anything very simple first, just in case we can go forward without anything tricky at all. Okay, this 7 blocks these 3 squares, but we don't have a 7 in this column yet, so let's put the 7 there. Right, now I know that I can find this empty square here. I know. I don't know what it is, but I do know that I can find it. And so for those of you who are new to Sudoku, you might be wondering why, so I shall explain the reasons why. Okay, the first thing I want you to notice is this 2 and 4 in this column here. And that is going to block 2 and 4 is going to block all the way to the top, and we have 2 and 4 over here, and that's going to block across here. So what do we have? We have 2 empty squares up here in the top row that must contain either the digit 2 or the digit 4. They cannot contain anything else. In fact, it's going to help us. So we know this is 2 or 4 only. Actually, we can get another 2 across here now, 2 like this, 2 up here, and 2 up here. So that's going to be a 2 there. But let's come back to look at this again. So this is our 4. Oh, we can get the 4 now. 4 blocking across here, 4 blocking across here, and 4 up here. So the 4 must appear in that square. Then the 4 down here, 4 up here, and 4 there. I've deviated because I was going to tell you how I know that I can get this digit right. So sorry about that. Let's come back now. What I said to you was 4 and 2 and 4 and 2 block like this. So we know that 4 and 2 are in these 2 squares here. Nothing else can go there. Now there are 3 numbers missing for this column, and I can work out what they are, right, just by looking through and see what's missing. And that means that I know that this is 4 and 2, and I know I can work out what these 3 digits are, and that will leave only 1 number that can be placed there. Do you get the idea now? Okay, so what must go in here? What must go in there is 3, 5, and 9. That's what we need to complete this column here. Oops, excuse me. 3, 5, and 9 have to go into these squares here. Right, 3, 5, 9 we don't have, and 4 and 2 up here, and so this has got to be the other number. So 3, 5, and 9, 4 and 2 there. If you work that out, 8 is the only thing that's left to get. Okay, and that kind of thing, if you're brand new to Sudoku, that kind of thing will help you as you go along and play the game more often, or work out some more kind of interesting strategies. Right, let's see now. We have 4 blocking across here like this. That means that 4 is in either this square or this square, and what do we know? We know that it blocks back across here, right, like this. And then we have 4 down here and 4 up here. That means we have to place our 4 just so. Now that's as far as we can go, because look, now we have 4s in these squares, but if this is a 4, that will be a 4. If that's a 4, this is a 4, but we can't tell which is which just yet. We need a bit more information on that first of all. Right, so where should we go on this? By the way, I couldn't differentiate which is which. Now I have a blocking 9 here, but the 3 and the 5 I couldn't say which is which just yet. And down here we know that this is 3, 5, and 7. Okay, so missing digits down here are 3, 5, and 7 to complete this block. Now actually the 5 and the 7 are in the same column, which is great, because when we look at this square here and we ask ourselves, can it be 5? No. Can it be 7? No. Then it must be 3, because that's the only thing left for these 3 numbers down, these 3 squares down here. Got it? You're really liking Sudoku now, aren't you? I know you are. Okay, 5, 7. I'm getting a message on my computer which is telling me either close or snooze, and it says tomorrow is a holiday, substitution day for today, which is actually supposed to be a holiday today in Thailand, but since it's a Sunday, well, it doesn't really count, does it? Now we can something we have 6s blocking across here like this, I'm trying to say, and we have a 6 blocking up here, so that's where the 6 must be applied. Just give me a moment to kind of sort these things out. Okay, I was looking at something there. If you're new to the channel, you should know that I don't play any of these games ahead of time. I have no idea what the answer is for any level, even though this is probably not. This is probably going to be like a medium level or something, because it had no 3s to begin with, and I think for beginners that's a bit daunting. But I don't think it's going to be expert level as I see it at the moment, or difficult, or a hard level game. I suspect it's just going to be a medium game, probably really an easy game, but as I said, for some people who will find the lack of a digit daunting. Right, you see the 9s now blocking like so. I placed that 9 because this 9 blocked up there. I didn't tell you, but I'm sure you were watching. Hope you were eagle-eyed enough to spot that. It it wasn't too difficult. And now we can do this. We have 9 blocking up here, and 9 blocking up here, and 9 blocking across here. So this is our 9, and then we can take this and find the last 9. Now if you're new to Sudoku, you should know that if we have 8 of a digit, and we currently have 8 9s, we have a 9 in every block except for this one, we can always find the last iteration, right? So 9 has to be in this white square here, and that's all of the 9s done. 9, if you're a 9 person, you can relax now. Over here we have 5s blocking across these 2 rows like that, so 5 fits there. And we have an 8 blocking across here like this, so an 8 fits there. And we have 3 to go there. And 3 is the last number for this row. You know, I really want to give this level an easy level if it continues like this, but as I say, I'm a bit kind of, I just think a bit that for beginners, if you have 1 digit missing, it can seem quite tricky. So I'm going to say it's not beginner level, there we are. It might not be medium, it might just be easy, but I will say that it's not beginner. In the meantime, let's see what else is going on. We have our 7 blocking across here, so in this particular middle block, that's where the 7 must go. And the missing numbers here now are 1 and 8. We have an 8 blocking up here, so that's where the 8 goes, and then a 1 finishes off this block here, right, like this. And now we can get this, we can finish off this block as well now. This 1 comes down like this, so that's where the 1 goes, and in this square we can get ourselves a 2 to finish this row. And then we will be left with a 3 and a 4, and we can see the 3 blocks here, so that's where the 3 goes, and that's where the 4 goes. Now 4 up here and 4 up here is going to give us a 4 here. And if you remember, do you remember back when I said that this was a 4 and a 2? Do you remember the 4 and 2 like this? Oops, 4 and 2, 4 and 2 blocking across like that and up there. So early on we placed 4 and 2 here, so now we know that that is our 2. Or of course you could just look down here and say, hey, there's a 2 missing. Why are you worrying? Why are you bothering that? Because I'm just trying to get your Sudoku brain in gear. That's why. Okay, we don't have 7 in this row yet, but we have a blocking 7 here, so that only leaves that square as a 7. And this will be a 5, and this will also be a 5 for this row here. Right, what's next? Okay. Not too much more to go now. Missing over on this side. I tell you what, let's hit the digits and see. Highlight the numbers like that is a bit easier, really. We have 2, 4, and 9, so I can jump over the 2. And jump over the 4. And with the 5. Okay, 6s, how do we look here? I'm sure there's something easy here, I'm just looking for it, and it'll be there in a second. When I say I'm sure, of course I'm not sure, I'm just surmising. Oh, maybe not, there's only the 8s then if we don't get an... Oh, there it was. Had to be an easy digit somewhere. 8's blocking up there, 8 across here. That's where the 8s are, which is just in time really, because 9s we've done already. So okay, 8's blocking up here now. Put some 8 into that square there. Oh, that was the final 8. Right, what else needs to be done? think we're going to go through the numbers once more, just because they're so easy to. It's so easy to see like this, and there aren't that many to look at now. Okay, so this row here doesn't yet have digit 6 in it. We've got a 6 blocking this square, right here, and we've got 6 blocking this square. So this is the only square not affected by one of these two 6s. So that's where the 6 goes. Where are we now? Oh, okay. So it's not going to die easily. It is in fact going to put up a little bit of fight at the end, and so it's not going to be an easy level game for sure. It's got to be at least a medium level game, I think. This block down here is probably going to help us a bit. What do I know? I know that the 1s are still possible in these squares like this. I know that the 3s are here, and if you want to know why I know that, because I've got blocking 3 here and we've got blocking 3 there, right? Oh, actually, maybe I should just look along this column, this row at the bottom here. What's missing? 1, 3, 6. 6s are there. 7. I can't tell. Let's do something else. Let's go up here instead, right? We've got the 3 blocking up here, so that's where the 3 goes. Then 5 will finish that row across there. That's easier, isn't it? That's a much easier way of doing it. I'm going to give this a medium level though, because I think it's too difficult for a beginner. Right, now we have 3s blocking all the way down to the bottom like this, so this is where our digit 3 must appear. Not too much more to go now. We're looking there. Okay, I think the missing digits in this column are 5 and 6. Now we've got 6 blocking this square here, so that's where the 6 goes, and this is where the 5 goes. And we've got 5 blocking up here now, so 5 appears in that square. 5 blocking across here, just 1 empty square there. This must be a 3. 3 blocks across here and 3 blocks up here. This is where our 3 goes. 3 blocks down here and down here. That's where the 3 goes here. Now we're just looking for 1, 6, and 7. Now everything else is done. We have 1, 6, and 7. So we've got 7 blocking up here. So that's where the 7 goes. We have 6. So this must be our 1. As I said, we're just looking for 1, 6, or 7. 1 blocks across here. That's where the 1 goes. We got 1 and 6. So this has got to be 7. There's 1 empty square down here. I see the 6, I see the 7, so this has got to be a 1. That's kind of a quicker way of looking for it. 7 is missing from here. 7 blocks across here, 7 blocks down here. That's where the 7 goes. And 6 blocks across here like this, so that's where the 6 is. And to finish today's Observer medium level, I'm going to give it. Those of you who play Sudoku regularly will not have had much trouble with that, but I think for beginners it might present some problems. So I'm going to give it medium level. Observer, thank you very much, and hope to see you later on in the day if you are a player of the trickier stuff. And if not, well, just check back on the easy level games that you find on this channel. Bye bye.